WGS-TV.
Welcome to another installment of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer and ZFX-TV. I'm Double B Billy Boudreaux. I'm going to be taking a look at Monday Night Raw for the week of August 20th, 2012. We open up with basically the fallout from the Big Perfect Storm. And of course, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I mean Brock Lesnar and Triple H when Lesnar made Triple H tap out. And basically, Heyman called him the master of the Broctagon, the new King of Kings, and so on and so forth. Well, let me just say this. If Lesnar was doing this promo by himself, it would have sucked. It would have sucked big time. Because Lesnar absolutely has no mic skills whatsoever. Heyman doing it made it all the better. Paul Heyman basically carried that segment on the mic. And that's what made it work. That's what makes Paul Heyman such a valuable commodity in the wrestling industry. Paul Heyman knows what he's doing. Paul Heyman knows how to work the microphone, how to work the crowd. And that's what he did Monday night. He made that promo go over. Lesnar's presence being there made it worth more. But considering the fact that Lesnar can only wrestle and he can't talk, it just adds to the fact that Lesnar's kind of a one-dimensional guy. So that's why we need guys like Paul Heyman. This is why we need managers back in professional wrestling, to give more dimension to those guys who actually can wrestle but have no mic skills whatsoever. They brought Scott Armstrong out on this, I guess basically to tell him thank you for letting the rules go out the window at SummerSlam, and that's pretty much what it was. So, as far as the opening segment goes, it's got to go 4 out of 5 on this one. If Lesnar was on the microphone, it would have been a 2 out of 5. Right off the bat. I'm going to tell you that right now. It would have been a 2 out of 5, because that's how I kind of grade Lesnar's mic skills. It's only a 2 out of 5. But Paul Heyman and how great his mic skills are, it bumps it up to a 4. Opening match on this week's Monday Night Raw saw a 6-man tag. It was Sin Cara and R-Truth and Kofi Kingston taking on the Primetime Players and Cody Rhodes. Now, WWE is really teasing this whole thing with Cody Rhodes and Sin Cara. And it got to the point where I actually believed that they were going to have a match at SummerSlam. And if they would have had an unannounced match, to be honest with you, I would have not been disappointed. I would have not been upset of the fact that we would have had a Sin Cara Cody Rhodes match, because I believe it would have been a really good match. But despite that, this was a really good 6-man tag. They did more. They're trying to push a lot with R-Truth, Kofi Kingston, and Primetime Players. We kind of saw that in this match. But again, it was Cody Rhodes' obsession with taking off the mask of Sin Cara to reveal who and what he really looks like underneath the mask. So, and it kind of cost him again, because Sin Cara got the win, got the pin on Cody Rhodes. So Sin Cara, R-Truth, and Kingston get the win over Primetime Players and Cody Rhodes. Great 6-man tag. Great opening match. I gotta go 4 out of 5. Then we had Alberto Del Rio come out, very upset over the controversy that happened to him at SummerSlam. And he demanded a World Heavyweight title match. AJ comes out, says that she has no jurisdiction or authority over the World Heavyweight title, but since he was dressed to compete, she did have the authority to put him in a match. And she put him in a match, a really, really good match, guys, with Randy Orton. And I believe what sold it even more was the fact that they had Sheamus out there on commentary. Sheamus just added to it, and what it looks like to me, from what we're seeing from Alberto Del Rio and Sheamus, is we're probably going to see a good feud. The feud is just well, let's just say this: the feud between these two guys is just starting. To be honest with you, the feud between these two is just starting, and I know they're going to have another. I believe they're supposed to be having another match on SmackDown. I am not entirely positive, but that's what's been advertised, I believe. So, but as far as Randy Orton and Alberto Del Rio goes, great match between these two guys. Possibly we might be seeing Randy Orton being inserted into the storyline. I mean, Randy Orton is one of the big name guys in the WWE, despite coming off that suspension he had, and you know, he wasn't involved in SummerSlam. That could have been one of the conditions for him coming back, that he couldn't be involved in SummerSlam. But he was involved definitely on Monday Night Raw in a really great match with Alberto Del Rio. 4 out of 5 on this. Then next we had Damien Sandow taking on Brodus Clay, a matchup that was rumored to have been on SummerSlam, but it got pulled and put on Monday Night Raw. And let me just say this: thank God they pulled it on SummerSlam, because if you would have seen this on a pay-per-view, it would have been utter crap. Monday Night Raw, not so much, because this is basically TV quality match. I honestly don't believe if they would have had. I honestly believe. Let me just say this: I honestly believe if we would have had Sandow and Brodus Clay at a SummerSlam, it would have brought the pay-per-view down. No offense to Sandow and Brodus Clay, but the level of the match they had on Monday Night Raw just wasn't up to par, in my opinion. I know a lot of people out there are very judgmental about Brodus' gimmick as a Funkasaurus. A lot of people are actually kind of judgmental of Damien Sandow, me being one of them. Got to see a lot more Sandow like I've been wanting, because the matches I've seen with Sandow, I've only seen him kind of, dominate the match in about 2 or 3 minutes. This matchup, I think, went about 5, nearly 10 minutes, but it was still a average style match. I don't want to say mediocre, but I'm going to say average. Sandow gets the roll up win, and then you see Brodus T-bone suplexes him and splashes him. Then he starts dancing with the little kids. Well, he and the hot dancers. Yes, they are hot. 3 out of 5 for Damien Sandow and Brodus Clay. Next up, we have Shawn Michaels live via satellite. No, he's not The Rock. And he's talking about the whole situation involving Triple H and trying to interpret everything that happened, after the match was over. And, it was a lot of heartfelt stuff, to be honest with you. So, it's still really hard to say where they're going to be going with this, with Triple H, if he's actually retiring or not. But, they really are hinting it. They really did hint it a lot at SummerSlam after the match was over, and they also hinted it a lot during the whole Shawn Michaels segment. I really think the words that Shawn Michaels came from him, I believe, were really heartfelt, because they really are friends. And I honestly believe, he really was getting choked up. I mean, when you're a professional wrestler, wrestling inside the ring is a big part of your life. And Shawn Michaels really did hint on it, especially on the statement saying that, you can never really prepare for the end of your professional career. And when it comes, you really just don't know how to handle it. I really don't know what else to say, to be honest with you guys. I really don't know how else to interpret what Shawn Michaels was saying. And I really don't know how to interpret what happened with Triple H after his match at SummerSlam. So, I really don't know what else to say except my rating on it, 5 out of 5. David Otunga returned to Monday Night Raw tonight in an attempt to get in the good graces with AJ, and that really didn't pan out too well. We wanted to try to become the legal counsel of AJ like he was with John Laurinaitis. And he said he could protect her from anyone calling her crazy. That's when, of course, he knew what was going to happen next. Otunga was put into a match. Um, by the way, I just realized something here as I look at my notes. Ryback was in a match tonight against two no-name jobbers. I didn't want to talk about it too much, but I just need to just touch on something they did do. They are building more into Ryback and Jinder Mahal. And when, for the love of God, will they get rid of Ryback's pink eye? I have absolutely no idea. I don't know what it is with his left eye. I don't know what the situation is, but it's just something that needs to be looked at. I don't know, but I just didn't want to talk about it too much because well, let me just say this: when I first saw it was going to be Ryback and two no-name jobbers, I'm like, oh my god, again. I mean, they were moving him up into more established, well, jobbers, bigger name jobbers in the WWE, and I thought they were starting to move Ryback up. And when I saw the fact that they had Jinder Mahal run in on Ryback, that kind of leads me to believe that they're keeping Ryback right where he is, and they're still trying to move him up. And right now they're having him feud with Jinder Mahal. So I do apologize for skipping that. I thought I had it in my notes, but I don't. So I apologize about that, guys and gals. But now to David Otunga. Now, originally when AJ said she was going to put Otunga in a match against an opponent of her choosing, my first thought was Ryback, considering what happened last week. But it didn't pan out that way, and it was the Big Show, and Big Show just absolutely annihilated David Otunga. And they were playing to the fact that Big Show was really upset about what happened to him at SummerSlam. So I think that was basically the whole build-up for it. It's an Otunga beatdown. 3 out of 5. Next up, we had a tag team match. Kane and Zack Ryder teaming up. Yes, you heard me correct. To take on The Miz and Daniel Bryan. Matchup didn't last very long. Basically, kind of ended with Daniel Bryan running away from Kane, and Kane just throwing this huge fit, and just destroying things left and right. And poor Zack Ryder just got annihilated by Kane, but not by 2 choke slams. So next up, as far as that goes, I'm gonna go for 3 out of 5. To be honest with you, I really wanted to see this match go to a finish. Instead, we got a no contest on it. They're really pushing this feud with Kane and Daniel Bryan. And now that Daniel Bryan has been ordered to go into anger management therapy by AJ, I can't wait to see what they do next week. Like, how many times we're going to hear the word no. I wonder if you guys see... how many times did Daniel Bryan say the word no in that match? I really lost count. I think I stopped counting after 30. I don't know about you guys, but I wonder how many times we're going to hear the word no in those anger management therapy classes next week on Monday Night Raw. Next up, we had a Diva Battle Royal. Now, here's the thing we need to make mention of on this one, guys, or I need to make mention of on this one, is the fact that when they brought up the screen for the Divas Battle Royal, Kelly was one of the divas that was featured in it. However, when we come back and we're ready for this Diva Battle Royal to become the new #1 contender, where was Kelly? Nowhere to be found. That was right. You heard me right, guys and gals. No Kelly. So that kind of leads me to believe that Kelly is probably done in the WWE. Even though she did come back a couple of weeks ago. I think the week before SummerSlam she came back. And what have we seen from her since then? Nothing. So, maybe the whole thing with Kelly was just a one-off thing. Now, as far as this Battle Royal goes, it's a Divas Battle Royal. Caitlyn becomes the new #1 contender. Caitlyn is hot. Don't get me wrong. But Her actual in-ring work, less than subpar in my opinion. 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5 on this. Next up, well, let me set the tone for this next match. It's Dolph Ziggler and Chris Jericho. Now, here were the stipulations that were laid down by AJ. If Dolph Ziggler lost the match, then the Money in the Bank briefcase and the contract goes over to Chris Jericho. If Chris Jericho would have lost, then Jericho's contract would have been terminated. Right then and there, it hit me. This is Jericho's last match. Jericho's comeback run in the WWE it only lasted 7 months, 8 months at best. And it kind of went the way I thought it was going to go. I mean, you know, the rumors are that he's going on tour with Fozzy for a while. So I really don't know what the whole situation is. But Jericho just recently turned face through this storyline with him and Ziggler, and you know, it was just something I was thinking. You know, I was always thinking that if this was Jericho's last run in the WWE, I believe that, you know, he wanted to go out as a face, and possibly this is the way he wanted to go out as a face. Now, I don't know if they're going to stick with this and if they're going to keep Jericho off, or are they going to, you know, have a swerve and have Jericho with a new contract. I don't know. Like I said, I'm just speculating on what they're going to be doing now with Jericho. Now that they used this to get him off of TV, you know, so the only way we can know for sure about what they're going to be doing with Jericho is to see what happens on next week's Monday Night Raw. I mean, that's the only thing we can do. But as far as this match goes, just as epic as it was on SummerSlam. So 4 out of 5. Then we end the show with a segment involving CM Punk, John Cena, and Jerry Lawler. Now, here's what happened. CM Punk comes out and at first wants to, you know, talk with Lawler and get him to apologize for saying that Punk had turned his back on it. Lawler was trying to explain that it was just an observation at the time. And next thing you know, John Cena comes out, and apparently Punk has the ability to name his next #1 contender pending AJ's approval. And he was going to give it to John Cena, barring the fact that Cena had to say to Punk that he was the best in the world. Then John Cena gets the microphone and basically says he can't. You know, as a wrestler, he has to believe that he's the best in the world. And basically, Cena said he wasn't going to do it. So next thing you know, Punk demands Lawler get in the ring and apologize again for saying that Punk had turned his back on the WWE Universe on Raw 1000. And Lawler still refused, saying that and also wanted Lawler to say that he was the best in the world. And just like Cena, Lawler said he couldn't, and Punk attacks Jerry Lawler. The whole purpose of this, honestly, I believe, was to turn CM Punk heel, and the crowd turned on Punk. You know, because he attacked Lawler, and Lawler has been basically a face to the crowd for the longest time. So, apparently they've been trying to turn Punk heel, and basically it's just been hard face as of late. And now, I guess, you know, with the crowd reactions to what he did to Jerry the King Lawler at the end of Monday Night Raw, mission accomplished. Punk is a heel. Overall score on Monday Night Raw this week, I'm going to go 4 out of 5. This is basically fallout from SummerSlam. A couple of things I need to keynote here in the opening segment. This is how good Paul Heyman is on the microphone. Well, I don't know if I want to say that, but his statement was, Paul Heyman is calling Brock Lesnar the next King of Kings and the master of the Broctagon. Yeah. interesting statements there. And it was also revealed on Tout that, by the way, if you want to follow me on Tout, guys, tout.com/U, the letter U, /WrestleGamer. But Brock Lesnar revealed on the Tout that he has nobody else left to conquer in the WWE, and he was leaving and not coming back. So, now as far as the actual show goes, very great six-man tag with Sin Cara, R-Truth, Kofi Kingston, the Players, and Cody Rhodes. Great match for Orton and Berto Del Rio. Love the segment with Shawn Michaels. Still trying to speculate on what's going on here with Triple H. Dolph Ziggler and Chris Jericho. Great match. I don't know if you've seen the end of Jericho. It all depends on what goes down in the following weeks on whether or not they're going to try to bring him back or not, or if he's really going to go on tour with his band, Fozzy. And again, CM Punk. Well, I don't know. Well, let me ask you guys. I'm going to put it to you guys. I want to see what you guys have to say. Do you guys honestly believe that CM Punk has turned heel? Put your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. And don't forget to please subscribe to youtube.com/WrestleGamer and youtube.com/ZFXTV Network. So with that being said, I'm Double B Billy Boudreaux saying thank you very much for watching.